Okay, Unit 2, Lecture 4b. I just want to continue with some ideas that put us on the path to revolution and what gets us there. So one of the first things we'll talk about right now is common sense. Remember, initially there was limited support for the revolution. The colonists were split into three groups. We had the patriots who supported revolution, the loyalists or Tories who thought the taxation policies of the king were fine because they were paying for their protection, and the neutrals who didn't care who won or who was on whose side, as long as they were left out of it. Okay. We've also discussed how the power of the written word will be a common theme throughout the course, and how ideas, unlike people, can't be killed. Okay, so that brings us to Thomas Paine, and he's going to write a pamphlet called Common Sense. Okay, it's going to have a huge impact on the revolution. All right, and a huge impact on colonial population. It's going to lay out the reasons the colonists should leave England, why a distant, faraway king should not rule the colonies, okay, and how the king is going to be to blame for much of their problems. Okay, so this focuses, Common Sense focuses colonial anger on the king and sways public opinion. Not the majority of the people, but enough to favor revolution. So this book is also going to lead to the Declaration of Independence, because it was written a few months before, in January 1776. Okay, and we'll definitely see, when we look at the Declaration of Independence, Paine's influence on Jefferson, or we should have already, since this is review. Okay, so that brings us to the main ideas that you need to be aware of inside of the Declaration of Independence itself. And number one, I would like you to recognize the consent of the governed. All right, consent of the governed is an idea in the Declaration, and we'll see it become integral to our government, all right, and our documents. All right, so power originates with the people, and the people consent or agree to give some to government, give up some power in order to form government. Okay, so then if power originates with the people have the power to take away power from the government, to overthrow the government if it doesn't do its job. Okay. Number two is natural rights. People are born with certain rights that can't be taken away, such as life, liberty, and property, according to Locke. We know Jefferson changed his property to pursuit of happiness, but it kind of means the same thing, okay? And it's government's job to protect those rights. So that's the first reason to change government. If they're not protecting our natural rights, we have the right to change, alter, or abolish government, and we can do that very easily today. Once a year we're given the opportunity to vote. So when we have elections, we can peacefully change our government. All right, number three is grievances in the Declaration. Jefferson's going to give us a long list of grievances against tyranny, problems with the government of England, the King of England. And when we look at next unit, when we begin next unit and see our first attempt at government, our fear of tyranny, because of these grievances, or what we've experienced under the king, is going to manifest itself in the Articles of Confederation when they're written. Right? We'll go into that in a bit of detail next unit. Okay, so those are the big ideas that get us on the path to independence. I wanted to just take 2 seconds, or I guess about 1:40 or so, to talk about some of your key concepts on the study guide. Not all of them, but some of them. So number two was talking about political tension. I'm thinking that's between the French and the British. I don't have that in front of me. So here in the New World, competing interests, especially over the Ohio River Valley, is going to lead to the French and Indian War. All right, so that's how the competing interests, or the political tensions between the French and the British, manifest themselves here in the colony, the French and Indian War. Okay, very important, because it's going to be the major cause of the revolution, or the cause that starts or causes all the other causes anyway. Okay. Number four, some reasons we win, I'm thinking, is, again, I don't have it in front of me, we have home field advantage. Britain is far away. We have French support. We have good leadership under Washington. And the number one reason we win the American Revolution is the war is unpopular in Britain. And that'll be something we'll learn even later on when we draw comparisons between the American Revolution and the Vietnam War. The reasons the British lose the revolution are very similar to the reasons that we're going to lose in Vietnam, okay? And that unpopular aspect is huge, okay? Ideas of victory. I have to go with number five. Britain has to reconquer the colonies in order to win, okay? The colonists have to get Britain to quit to win. Two very different ideas on victory, and two tasks with much difference in difficulty and in accomplishment. Okay, so that's Unit 2, Lecture 4b.